Hello, friends, and welcome. I am Ananda Rose. So good to be talking to you today. And I thought today I'd come online and just do a short light language transmission or a long one. We'll see how it goes, right, when we start doing it. And bring a message in for this time, this very poignant time in life. Now, I kept feeling, I kept wondering about doing a full moon ritual, and for whatever reason it just seemed that seemed to move away. And I just got really busy, and well, actually busy with recovering. recovering recovering and going through the motions of the energies at this time, because the energies for me has been quite tiring. I've been very tired, and I think also I've been in hermit mode, a lot of reflection in my world right now. And I know that many other people are talking about the same things. And also, some of the things that have happened in the last, I suppose, last 2 months or so in my world is, I guess, caused me to go back and reflect and look at the shadows that are still there, that are not leaving, that are still, even if I've done a lot of work on it, there's a bit of residue still, right? And so there you go. This has been all about what it was or is. Sometimes we think we don't have trauma about things, and then we have experiences that sort of bring out the trauma. And then you think, oh, I thought I dealt with that. So there you go. But today, very especially, I mentioned the full moon. Well, I didn't do anything for the full moon. I didn't do a ritual for the full moon at home like I thought I might, and that I have done for years. And then in recent times, I've actually stopped. But yesterday, as we were coming out of that, or as we were coming out of the Pluto being in Capricorn for all this time, I started to think that I needed to do something. Like I needed to do um, a ritual, maybe light some candles and say thank you to the universe for the last 16 years and what it's been like. So I'm one of the cardinal signs, by the way. If you don't know that about me, or if you haven't heard me say that before, I am one of the cardinal signs. And the cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, was affected by this Pluto being in Capricorn in an intense way. And it started in 2008. And it was very obvious when it started. For me specifically, it started in 2008. And the events leading up to 2008, when we had the recession, was all setting me up for this Pluto moving into Capricorn. And now, often I wonder, sometimes do we give things energy that it becomes our reality? And we know that, right? Anything that you put your focus on, our mind is so powerful that we can actually do that. However, one of the things that I realize when I think, oh, maybe I'm just imagining all of this, but I go back to 2008 and where I was in my journey, or on my journey spiritually, I knew nothing about Pluto being in Capricorn at the time. I did not follow astrology as I follow astrology now. But when I listen to the astrology and I reflect on my life from way back then and how things were, I know that it's true. So I've got Asterix here who's just come in and has taken the soft toy that I've had sitting on there, that is CJ, our cat, who passed away in January. So Asterix is just visiting us, and he's been playing with Baxter, and so he's just gone and done it. Anyway, let's carry on. Asterix has got the soft toy. I'm sure that we'll save that soft toy in a minute. He just wants to hang out with it. That's all. So, coming back to what I was saying. So, when I reflect back about my life in 2008 and some of the events that have happened at significant points since 2008, like I know that what the astrology is saying lines up. And so, therefore, I know that that's not a reality I created because I knew about astrology. I've only really, really tuned into the Pluto being in Capricorn situation in the last maybe 18 months. And yet we've been coming to the end of it. Now, Pluto went into Aquarius in March this year. And it was in Aquarius for like what, 6 months, from March, or just about 6 months, from March through to September. And if I think about it again, there was almost this projection again forward. There was stuff happening that almost loosened up things, right? From whatever I seemed to and felt like I was stuck in at the time. However, when Pluto went into Capricorn again in September, it felt like, oh, I thought, hey, I'm not going to be affected by this. I'm going to be okay because I've been there, done all of this again. And then I had some very significant things happen. That I was repeating this cycle, stuff, people that were suddenly in my life that I hadn't seen for what, I don't know, 12 months. Some of the repeat patterns were taking place. I had a friend reach out and help me with something that happened in 2016, which was like what, 8 years ago, right? Exactly about the same time, 2016, exactly the similar circumstances. And then I had to think, well, there's something in it. But yes, for me personally, Pluto being in Capricorn has been very challenging. And it's been a hard, difficult, dark night of the soul, especially from 2018, was really intense. However, there's also been these amazing things that have come through. I've had the best work contracts. Okay, so from about, say, 2016, when everything started to feel like it was, going all over the place, work was suddenly not there. I managed to create some things in my life that I'd never believed I could ever create. And it happened in 2016. I got like, after going through this really intense period, which was from, I think, September through to like maybe late November, early December, I suddenly had this amazing contract. It landed in work contract. It landed there. It paid me dollars I didn't even think I could get paid in any job. And I was just taken care of by the universe. I was just in the space and in the place of people who could really open doors for me. And that went on till about 2020. So when I think about that, I think, despite all the challenges Pluto being in Capricorn presented for me, there was all those other placements I had that came and lifted me up. What about Jupiter doing whatever Jupiter does in my birth chart? So I know that everybody is talking about Pluto's return to Aquarius. And, I was myself saying, hallelujah. Yes. But remember that it's affecting us globally. It's affecting us personally. And it's also indicative of other things that now we are in store for this big change, because it's almost like the symbolism of going into the age of Aquarius, right? It's a real big indicator, pointer to that. But I want to say more than anything else. For me, I felt my ceremony had to be honoring the time. Yes, it's been challenging. Yes, it's been difficult. Yes, some people would have been in this Pluto Capricorn transition phase and being totally unaware of it. Some people I know have been in it. They have passed away in this time without coming to the realization of that, because that was the soul contract. That was the karma that they had to go through. So I feel like today, what I want to do with all of us here is a little bit of a ceremony, honoring the time, honoring the last 16 years, honoring for all of us whatever we've gone through. And remember, all of us, even if you're not a cardinal sign, but you could have those signs as a rising or a moon sign. But also, even if that's not the case, you do have these signs somewhere in your chart. We have all the signs somewhere in our chart. We have all the planets somewhere in our chart, right? In our birth chart. So we've been affected by it. So I feel like what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear us, bring us into the space, and I'm going to read a message that I got today by shuffling my Akashic Tarot Oracle card deck. Oh, sorry, tarot deck. What am I saying? Oracle card deck. Yeah, my Akashic Tarot deck. There's a beautiful card in there, and I just thought that would be apt. I've never really received this card when I've shuffled this Oracle, this tarot deck, But I felt that it was very apt to look at that Akashic Tarot for this transmission, for this ceremony. Very apt because we are clearing the past. We have cleared a lot of our karma in this 16 years, right, that we've been going through this. And perhaps there's more karma for us to clear, but perhaps we clear it in a different way. We are braver than we've ever been. We are stronger than we've ever been. We are more informed than we've ever been. Because in 2008, I knew nothing about this. And now I know not everything, I know a lot more. Let's just say I know a lot more than I knew in 2008 about this. I have grown. And if anything, this transition has helped us grow. This transition has helped us awaken to what is, awaken to what we are here to do, awaken to the realization that we actually do have a soul contract and we do have a purpose to fulfill. Because I know for me in 2008, that would have been a blur, right? Okay, so I'm going to do our clearing. I've got incense burning. Let's see if I can bring it over and clear us here. Oh, it's almost burnt. There we are, but still, there we go. There's enough. There's enough for you, for us, for me. Okay, I'll put that down. And I'm going to encourage you. Let's just do the clearing with the feathers. Okay, friends, have your water ready and make sure that you can have some sustenance. Sip your water. Okay, I'll read the card and then we'll do the transmission, okay? The card today is from the Akashic Tarot deck. And it is this card. It's called the One of Scrolls. And it's called On Track. And if you look, we've got somebody there that's standing on the platform there at a train station. They're about to take a step onto the steps leading into the train, but the other steps on the track, on the platform still. Okay, I'm going to put the card down. And look, it's a very interesting card because it's got a clock in it. It's got signs with directions. It's got a doorway, it's really, and it's got a lamp shade, a street lamp. So I just feel there's so many things, there's so many messages in that. The light is there. We're about to move. Time has passed. We've got different directions. Well, you have choice, isn't it? You have a doorway there that you can go back into or you can move forward into. You can, So here we are. I'm going to put the card down for a second and I'm going to read. This card, the On Track card, is this. A man at a train station looks over his shoulder at the signs that point to other tracks. So there's the signs pointing to other tracks. But he has already looked at his maps and made his decision. He lifts his foot to step onto the train. Though travel or a move can be indicated by this card, the meaning is often about your choices and directions. You may have been ambivalent about taking a certain track in your life with regard to a project, a relationship, a career directive, or even a location. But now it's time to decide. If you've not quite as assured as you'd like to be, the engine is smoking, there is a direction that compels you. So get on board. You will not falter. So a special note here about this card is that whether this card is upright or reversed, imagine you stepping back through the stone archway of the station and into the adjacent card. This is the waiting room for your train where you prepare for your journey. The information there can help you get on track. Looks like I'll have to take it. I have to pick out another card and I will do that shortly. The Akashic Force meaning is take a deep breath and say, I am back on track. Yeah. Deep breath. I am back on track. Feel the clarity of that declaration and let that energy fill you. I am back on track. I am back on track. I am back on track. As the state of readiness moves through you, sense just one simple action that will realign you with your purpose. I invite you to breathe here. I invite you to breathe, and to imagine being back on track with your soul purpose. Wow, I can't make that up. I cannot make that up. Wow. Right, I'm going to put the card down. I want to pull out another card from the deck and see what that card is, the adjacent card. What is the adjacent card? Ooh, you got quite a few. Right, but we're not going to take quite a few, right? We're going to take one. That's the problem with Aries people. If you watch an Aries tarot reading, they get a lot of cards. Or if Aries people are shuffling cards, oops, they get a lot of cards. Oh, friends, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna shuffle again one last time, okay? Clearly not gonna. Okay, here we are. I've got it again. I got both of them again, and I'm just going to tell you what they are. So, what the first card that we got after reshuffling, I can't make this up, right? It's the last shuffle. I can't do another one because I gave you my word. It's the Akashic Library. It's the Akashic Library, and the other one is the Treasure card. And I'll just quickly look at them because I feel like the Akashic Library is a major arcana card in this, right? Of course, it's the Akashic Tarot, so why wouldn't it be? Right, let's pull it. Let's read it. Number 2. Inside a great library, candles cast a glow upon the books in the tall shelves. A sage sits thoughtfully with an open book on his table and a quill pen in his hand. Sometimes this card can indicate writing or publishing a book for you. This card also symbolizes a new initiation, an ability to manifest a new life in every way. I can't make this up. You have moved deeper into the Akashic records and to a higher self-awareness. Further investigation may be required, but you now have a better understanding of your old motives and new purposes. What have we just been talking about? Wow. When you receive this card, whether upright or reversed, it indicates that a book will bring a message to you. Today, open any book that compels you to do so. Let it fall to any page, read a passage there, and reflect on the words throughout your day. That's there. Let's look at the 2 of Keys, which is the treasure card. All right. I'm not reading the whole messages, but I'm just reading some things that I think will be of significance. Okay, so we cannot make this up, guys. Can you believe that, guys and girls? We cannot make it up. The 2 of Keys. A man looks dejectedly at a smashed treasure chest in a room that obviously has been robbed and plundered. Behind him, a stream of light shines from below the lid of an unbroken chest that rests on a small table, the only piece of furniture in the room that hasn't been touched. This card represents a great loss or disappointment in your life right now. It could be the loss of a job, a relationship, or even an opportunity. But remember that this phase is temporary. It might take some time and effort to rally your forces to recover, but there is a great treasure within you that is always available. The little chest represents that part of you that is filled with light. It isn't vulnerable, and it can never be lost or damaged. When you focus on what's wrong or what's lacking, it perpetuates your sense of emptiness and victimization. So don't let yourself get lost in your loss. Open the lid to your light and let it illuminate your way. There are other opportunities and greater wealth waiting for you to discover. Wow, friends. What can I say? I think that treasure card is so personal to me, but I'm sure that it's personal to many of you as well. Okay, here we are. Here we are. Hukramakita ko tufaranachai na tufaranacho letsena tufaranachai urumachai na tifereketo. Let's do our transmission. I was going to do a separate transmission, but I think for whatever reason, it feels like it needs to come through here. So how are you doing, my friends? Let's go So feet firmly planted on the ground. Gotta make sure the hair is all right for the camera. Have another sip of water. I recorded the Ho'oponopono prayer for this transmission separately. But I feel very guided that I need to do this differently. I need to do it right here, live. Breathing, friends, breathing. Koronahita uronoko aeleche. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I thank you and I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Kiramaka tokoro mahahe. Hilele makwa ya pono 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 pono. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I'm sorry, I thank you and I love you. I love you, I love you, please forgive me. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Please forgive me, I'm sorry. Ho'oponopono, 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 Ponopono. Yes, friends. What is it? What is it that brings us to this place of Ho'oponopono? This place of reflection, of seeing the repeat patterns and thinking, I've done all the work. I've done all the work. These repeat patterns, I thought I'm over it. I'm done. I no longer have dramas of the corporate world in my life. I no longer have dramas of that I've worked with and I've felt through my life in my family or my relationships. And yet some of them return. Or maybe my abundance issues. I no longer go through those things of need because I've worked through that. What is it? What is it that we're going through? Yes, we're clearing. We're clearing. Are you thinking you want to clear it for good? That if you should come back to this planet later on, that these are the things that you are consciously aware of, that you know you need to clear because we're now in a more awakened state than when, I don't know. But maybe since being in pure positive energy, right? But here we are in a more awakened state. What are we doing? How are we doing it? Yeah? Are we doing it where now that we have the advantage of knowing that we're clearing karma, are we clearing it? Are we deciding that clearing this karma means I want to clear it to the point that I never have to come back and deal with it? That if I come back to this planet, that's not what I'll be dealing with? Yeah? Yes. For me, a lot of tinglings in the middle of my palm here. I don't know what that's about. But for me, that's important. That's important. So, it is a time where I know for me, part of me feels like I'm broken. Part of me feels like, wow, some of the circumstances, what the heck happened? But I know that it had to happen. I know that because my guides told me that almost immediately. They were telling me that even before it was about to happen. So, here we are. Here we are, going through life. Some days feel like they feel horrible, and other days feel, okay, I'm navigating. I'm just living. I'm just going on. I have learned, though, that being in the appreciative mode, being in appreciation, saying thank you, calling in the archangels, especially Archangel Michael, and his legions of angels, that will right things. And remember when you call in Archangel Michael to say with ease and comfort, because that is important too. All right. Remember, he traverses with the sword, and you want it to be with ease and comfort because he doesn't hurt us. But those things that are coming to an end, that they come to an end with an easily and comfortably, that you become aware of it. Yes. I think that's the most important thing with ease and comfort. But sometimes it does take abrupt endings. Sometimes it does take intense endings because that's what's necessary. We don't know the whole story. We're still getting to know the story. So friends, thank you so much for watching. And thank you. There's some exciting things coming up. I will be online again to explain that. And so, I'm just working on a project in the background, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with all of you. And once again, thank you to everyone that subscribes, that watches, even if you're not a subscriber. But so thank you so much. You're so welcome here. I'm glad that you visited. I'm glad that something in that we put out, or I put out, you resonated with. Yeah. So much love to all of you, everyone. Namaste, and I'll catch you next time.